And the Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Some Pharisees approached Jesus and tested him, saying, "Is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife for any cause whatever?" He said in reply, "Have you not read that from the beginning the Creator made them male and female, and said, 'For this reason a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh?' So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, man must not separate." They said to him, "Then why did Moses command that the man give the woman a bill of divorce and dismiss her?" He said to them, "Because of the hardness of your hearts. Moses allowed you to divorce your wives, but from the beginning it was not so. I say to you, whoever divorces his wife, unless the marriage is unlawful, and marries another, commits adultery." His disciples said to him, "If that is the case of a man with his wife, it is better not to marry." He answered, "Not all can accept this word, but only those to whom that is granted. Some are incapable of marriage because they were born so. Some because they were made so by others. Some because they have renounced marriage for the sake of the kingdom of heaven. Whoever can accept this ought to accept it." The Gospel of the Lord. This morning I'd like you to think about something there as you watch this live streaming and hopefully can hear me and see me. I'd like you to think about, what are your gifts? Now is not the time to be humble or modest. You're there probably by yourself watching this. Think to yourself for a moment, what are your gifts? There's probably more than one. And as you think about your gifts, also think about, what have you done or what did you do to deserve them? Did you ask for them? Did you wish for them? Was there anything that you did that all of a sudden, oh, here you have this gift? Now, you've probably worked on them and honed them and made them better and figured out how to use them. But is there anything that you did that caused them to come about? Well, no. These gifts were given to you by God. God freely gave them to you because He loves you. He loves each of us, and He's given each of us gifts. Much like the young woman in the first reading, God lavished her with fine clothes and jewelry and fine food, and none of this she earned. He found her in the streets and lavished all of this on her. And she threw away these gifts and used them improperly. So I think the question is, what do you do with a gift that you've not earned, that really is not yours? It's still God's. So what do you do with God's gift to you? The good news is that sometimes we don't use our gifts as we ought to. Sometimes we lavish them upon things that don't build the kingdom of God. But God remains faithful to us. God does not take away these gifts. God leaves them with us. God forgives us. God encourages us to move on and to continue to work in His service. So think about your gifts. Think about how God has given them to you freely, and what are you to do with them?